What up, what up? We chilling here. Street Talk Convo with the homie Wild Up. You already know what it is. They got the miggity. Nah, I ain't the miggity, but I'm the Mac, and I'm in the building. Holla at me.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. We're going to start this episode off right. This is episode 8 of the Street Talk podcast, or the Street Talk Convo. I don't even know why I said podcast. But first thing before we get started, I want to give a shout out to my sponsors. Big Shot in the building. Rap Snacks, of course, best chips in the world. And then we got the Bundle Gang. If you need anything with hair, if you need any kind of products, any kind of extra hair, bundles, whatever it is, you know, Slam always got the for sure. He know exactly what it's called and what it is. The Bundle Gang is your official place for that. Clouds and Cocktails. They got the hookah pens. They got the 0 milligrams. So if you want to smoke it, seem cool, feel cool, whatever you want to do, and just hit it, and you ain't really hitting no, what is it, THC?
It's THC.
THC.
Yeah.
So if you got all of that, it's all good. The Bundle Gang, Clouds and Cocktails, Big Shot, Rap Snacks. And shout out to Skeesh. They gave me this shirt. Hoffrey, I appreciate you, brother. This is a fire ass shirt. I just wanted to shout that out. But today we have in the building. First off, shout out my co-host Slam.
How you doing?
My hood scholar in the building. Shout out Bodie. You know he in the back working his ass off. We got some more people in the building. Shout out Mercedes. She in the building in the back. She's looking like, oh shit. I told you we was gonna say you was in the building.
Yeah.
And but this is what I want to do. Today's guest, super special, because we've had a lot of good people on. We've had a lot of talented people on. We had a lot of major people on. But this is our first legend that we've had on.
Yes, yeah.
And grew up on his music. I was too young to listen, but I was fucking listening. Do you hear me? I'm talking about from you ain't gotta say too much. I'm talking all the way. Listen, I don't care. All the way back. The pussy was just calling me. Like, this was the first real, fuck. Y'all wanted to hear that bitch when I was fucking. Real rap song. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna keep it a buck. This man is a legend.
Yep.
Not only in the city, in the world.
In the world.
This man is one of our beloved artists in this city. Many people feel like had he not gone away, he would be probably one of the top 5 ever in the world outside of here. Because we all feel like he's in our top 5. I know for me personally, he's one of the top 3 rappers I've ever heard in my life.
Man.
Ever.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
You don't have to. You don't have to. But we want to say we appreciate you for being here. Today's guest, the legend, the man, the myth, the talent. Somebody who we felt like was the real spitter on the tank when it was just a bunch of antics, but he was really spitting that shit way back then. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. We got Mac in the motherfucking building.
Yes, sir.
Mac
in the building.
Motherfucking building.
And look. Let me say this, America. I wish I can carry him around so he could say that before I walk into every room. Yeah, that was a serious introduction. And
man,
brother, I want to say I appreciate it. I'm humbled by it.
Oh man.
And man, it's just all about the music for me. It's been that way since I was 7, man. I fell in love with hip hop as a kid, as a shorty. And ever since then, it's just been my religion, it's my lifestyle, it's everything to me.
So before we get into Mac, of course this is Joseph Podcast. So before we get into Mac, and we won't get into some of you, pause. But it's a pleasure to have you here, brother. Because like I said, I grew up. I remember when you were incarcerated. I did a song, like you, and that's hip hop. And if you wanted to know, then I could prove it.
Yeah.
So I did a song paying homage to you. And
man, why I never heard it?
I thought you heard it. Somebody's calling my phone, but I can't answer. I thought you heard it, but we'll let you hear it after this. But that's how much you, DMX, y'all people inspire me. Mainly you, mainly DMX, Jadakiss. That was my 3.
Right.
That I listened to that made me say, okay, I want to rap. So.
Man, that's a hell of a company to be in because Jada is a beast.
Fact.
We already know that.
But
nobody had energy. Right. I mean, I I'm just speaking, I guess, not of myself. I'm gonna say, man, nobody had energy like X. So that
Right.
energy was unmatched. Jada like the punchline king.
Facts.
Like, you know
Facts.
what I mean? So yeah.
But listen, we gonna get into Mac. Let's start this off right. I got a fucking issue and I want to talk to y'all about it.
Uh-oh.
Taraji P. Henson, right? She just did.
Okay.
He already smiling, grinning. She just did The Color Purple, the remake, right? And she's complaining about the pay. She's saying she's not making, what is it? She's not making enough, or she's not making as much as either the white counterpart females, or she's not making enough as the black males. So I'm asking y'all, what do y'all think this industry, especially with this type of situation? Because to me, I think, what was it, Bodie? The Color Purple was like one of the top, well, what was it? The top movie this week?
I think so.
Okay, so it was the top movie this week.
Okay.
And she was the star, right? So if she's the star and she's not making the same amount, what do you think it is? Do you think it's race? Do you think it's gender? What does this society come to what do y'all think it is? I want to start with that because to me personally, and I usually let y'all go first, but I'm gonna just say this. To me personally, I just feel like movies like that, they always gonna have a bigger movie, and they're always gonna have. It's like the WNBA. People be like, "Oh, they don't spend enough. They don't pay us enough for the WNBA." But y'all don't pack shit out. Ain't nobody dunking on nobody. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel. But movies, it's what and what.
Right.
So he
Put
like,
your
what
mic
you
down
feel?
some.
So what you feel?
What I feel, all right. I just say you don't get what you work. You get what you negotiate.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't complain about something after the fact. If you went on with the contract, you signed the contract, you saw the contract, you read it, you agreed to this. Now, after I put all the work into this shit and we blow this motherfucker, I didn't know this shit was gonna blow up like that. When we was signing the contract, we didn't know the shit was gonna blow up like that. We was doing it on a hope and a whim that it blows up like that. But from a realistic standpoint, this is what your number is. I'm giving you your number. You know what I'm saying? Now, everything went where it was. You can't get mad. I gave you your number. This bitch blew up.
Do you think her number was wrong though?
You gave me the number. I don't know what your number
You think
is.
her number was wrong? He not gonna say whether he think.
What was her number? But I don't know your number.
I ain't gonna front. I'm just learning of this as you're speaking.
Okay.
About it. So I don't know. I don't think I have enough information.
Knowledge
about
or
it to
information
pass
about it?
to pass an opinion on it. But I will say that I think that everyone should be paid what they work. They should negotiate. They should negotiate based on their self-worth.
So let me ask you this: have you ever negotiated anything where you feel like, damn, I probably should have asked for more because I deserve more, but I'm gonna ask for this because it makes sense?
I think we've all had those thoughts, but I have like this overwhelming part of my personality that when those thoughts come, there's another part of me like, nah, fuck that. This is what you want, and that's a wrap.
Right.
And if you can't provide that, then I'ma holler at you. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much how,
I guess I look at it like so if she asks for more, they don't give her that role.
That's how the game go.
But that I don't think it's fair.
No, but you're auditioning. If you making a movie, you come to Slam like you have different ideas of who you would place in this role. All right, let's go down the list. Damn, I want Taraji. Let's see what Taraji is. What's your number? You ask me for that number. I'm like, my budget may not permit that because I have to do this. I have to pay for all these different sections, this, that. Can you take this? You know what I'm saying? If you can't, for the artist, you got the right to say, nah, that ain't what I want. Cool. And I got the right to go to the next in line that permits my budget to be flexible. Like, I can't do it with you right now. I don't have that right now. But I want you. So
I feel like it's a male dominated industry, and they always gonna give the men. And I'm a man, but I still feel like they always gonna give the men the benefit of the doubt. They gonna give them more money. They gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know, bro.
You said it though. You said it.
It's kind of whack, and being that he's not even privy to it says a lot. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you don't even know about it says a whole lot, that she's complaining about not getting paid. And he just like, yeah, I never heard. So it's kind of like they ain't even putting that on blast enough. You know what I'm saying?
Who's supposed to do it? Because
I'm putting it on blast.
Yeah,
for
you know what I'm
reason.
saying? Being realistic though, like if I go in and I say, man, let's bring it down to the lowest term. If you outside selling drugs and the crackhead, man, look, I got 7.
He always break it down to selling drugs.
Because I have
what it is.
I think that's a good example.
But because the average listener think they can understand that. So I'm going from $1 to $10 mark.
Okay.
We talking $1 to $10.
That's good mathematics.
So crackhead come, look, I got 7.
Okay.
And you can be, man, no, I want my 10. But then you think about it, damn, I'm about to pass this $7 up and not get nothing. I could just take the 7. Let me take the 7. That's negotiation. The crackhead negotiation. You want this 7 or not?
And they the truth. They're the best negotiators.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let me,
because they throwing in work too.
Yeah.
I'll wash your car too. And all that type of shit.
They're
They
the
gonna
best
throw that shit.
negotiators.
Nah, they know that my nigga. He got crack too. You gonna take the 7? I'm gonna go give him the 7.
All right, so we agree to
You know what I'm
disagree
saying?
on that. I'll just take
Right.
that. So did you know what was going on with TD Jakes?
I heard something like, I guess in passing, and that's pretty much it. And as odd as this may sound, I really don't be knowing a lot about stuff that because I just
You stay in your world.
I be staying in my own little world. I hear this, that, and another, but that's another thing I don't think I have enough information about to make an opinion.
Well, fuck it then. I really don't care because to me all.
So what is the issue?
So TD Jakes, apparently the Diddy issue, right? So of course the Diddy issue is, they bringing all these allegations out about Diddy raping and this, that, and the third and all this shit. So now apparently they're saying TD Jakes was at the house one of these times and TD Jakes was involved in all of this shit also. So, and we talking about, and listen, this could be a whole different subject, but I'm gonna just say it. But we talking about a man of God. Listen, this could be a whole different subject, but we talking about a man of God being lumped in with this Diddy situation. So I don't know how.
The Catholic Church, it was always
brother.
Catholic Church.
Hey, brother. But again, if you don't have no knowledge of it, I don't.
But with the information that you just provided,
Wow.
as a person who went through something, with
England towards you.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so I guess my opinion would be, as a person who went through something and was accused of something that I didn't commit, I kind of empathize with those who are accused of things. I kind of empathize with the accused, especially if there's nothing to back it up or no evidence to back it up. So, I mean, just like anybody, I feel that if you are accused of something and you would like to think that there is some evidence to support the accusation. If it's just put out there, I think a lot of times media put something out there before any real evidence come out, and people are basically slandered in the media without anything to support the actual accusation. So I guess for me, my stance or my bias is going to always be
it's personal for you too.
To the accused, right? Because it was personal, because of what I went through, and so. I don't know, but I will say that, if there is no evidence to back nothing up, I just try to give people the benefit of the doubt until, proven otherwise.
So, okay, so pause, getting off of TD Jakes. Let me stay on that with you real quick. I already know how it affected you when everything happened.
Yeah.
But how much more did it affect you by the fact that you know you were innocent?
Oh, it affected me a lot. It affected me in different ways. I think that the thing that affected me the most was just the fact that I wouldn't be able to physically raise my son. So, just as I was going through it, and I knew that when I left the streets, my son's mama was like 6 months pregnant. I had already did an ultrasound and was excited that my son was coming, and being taken away from it. That was probably at that time the biggest thing that was affecting me mentally, man. And it just was like, wow, like this is fucked up. I'm not going to be able to, and the other side of it was seeing how easily and effectively lies can be used and how believable they can make them, and how there is always an audience or a body of people that's receptive to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that was the biggest thing. It was like these people had convinced the citizens of that area that this man is a rap/gangster, he's a murderer, he came to our town, did X, Y, and Z. And so much so, and those people believe the word of those of authority so wholeheartedly that without even using their own critical thinking, they just ran with it before they seen any evidence. So by the time the guy who confessed it was like, oh, nah, he's just lying for him. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, so what do you do then? And I guess that was the biggest blow to me, to see someone actually confess to it and I still be convicted of it. That shit blowed my mind. And it kind of just made me look at everything different after that.
Did they ever come up, like, since the dude confessed, did they ever do a follow through even after your release? Like, even...
No, what they did with him was, ironically enough, what they did was they held a charge over his head to make sure he didn't come testify at my hearing. And then once my conviction was final, they waited till my conviction was final and then went back and charged him with accessory after the fact, just to cover their track.
but also just to make sure they got you and him.
Yeah, but he never did any time. So they just wanted to cover their tracks because you couldn't just have someone confess to something and nothing happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to cover their ass, they went head on after my conviction was final, charged him and basically, charged him and I guess convicted him of accessory after the fact, pleaded out, and that was a wrap.
And listen, we just went off subject, but I just think, you are so intriguing, especially to me, like I say, because now I'm a fan, and I'm so invested into the Mac as an artist that when you start talking, it brings up all
of those things.
Yeah, it brings up emotions, and it makes me want to ask questions. Like when you say that, what did it feel like? Because I know what it felt like on my end, and like I said, I was a little boy, but it's even worse as a hero. When you're looking at your heroes, you as a little boy, you're like, damn, and he just done now, like he just gone, like what's next? For you, how did it feel being that high? Because you got to think, bro, you was that nigga. And then all of a sudden...
I was working toward it.
No, to us, you was that nigga. In your mind, you probably was like, man, I'm working towards it. But to us, you was that nigga.
And I say that humbly because I was, my motto since the beginning of this was, and I'm gonna just be real. I wanted to be the top rapper in the world. That was my goal when I first jumped in as a kid. It was like, I want to be the top MC in the world. Right. Period. And when it happened, it was like, damn. So I get in there, and all these emotions I'm going through, all of the stuff that's happening. But at some point, I had to emotionally detach myself from it so that I can effectively help myself get out of prison.
Right.
Like, during my whole trial, I was in two persons. It was like I was the person actually going through this, but then I was witnessing myself go through this because I had to be the advisor to my attorneys. So I had to emotionally remove myself from it. Like, yo, all right, this is what we need. Damn, he good. Like, it got to the point I told my lawyer one day, I was like, man, the prosecutor is good.
Right.
Because his arguments were based on nothing. His arguments were based on nothing, yet...
I know he said he downstairs. Somebody go get
yet he was able...
He's selling it.
Yeah, he was able to sell it to this jury. I mean, he almost sold it to me. I was like, well, damn, did I black out? I mean, so it was diabolically good.
I like that.
You know what I mean? So I was, but that's how emotionally detached I had became in order to effectively help myself. So that's the kind of, things I was dealing with while going through the actual trials and stuff. And then once the trials was over, I had to switch, my motto always been camouflage, so I had to switch. I had to switch again.
Did it, that's funny that you say it's been camouflage. Is because you was on it with the camouflage.
Yeah, I had to switch again.
And your name was the camouflage assassin, which I thought was fire. But, so did it change? obviously changed that. It obviously changed the way you looked at music. But did it change? Well, let me ask you this: where do you think you would be if that musically? And I'm not talking about.
Or musically?
Both. Where would you be?
Man,
What would you think number-wise?
If that wouldn't have happened, I think that I would have been one of the biggest selling artists of that time, because I was willing at that time, young in my 20s, I was willing to put in the work to be the top dog at that time. And you
were probably, in my eyes, I don't know how everybody else feels, but in my eyes, you were probably one of the first people from the South, not just from New Orleans, but from the South, that was really speaking in metaphors and really spitting. And it wasn't like a dance type of thing. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? You had really like, you was speaking that, you was talking that shit.
And that's because of the influence. I would say to anyone, I was a child of Rakim. Rakim was who I credit with being my first professor. You know what I mean? Because listening to his music as a kid made me want to go. He was able to do something my teachers weren't able to do, and that was to encourage me to read. By listening to his songs, I'm listening to some of the stuff he's saying. I went grab encyclopedias. I want to know what he's talking about, because I like to be in the know. So, I went, grabbed them encyclopedias, and it helped my vocabulary, and it eventually made me a straight A student. So I credit all of that. And when I met Rakim this year, I told him. I said,
you met him this year?
Yeah, I met him at Tibertina's. And I told him, I said, man, I'm just going to say that because of you, I was a straight A student. And he said, man, I never heard that before, man.
Yeah, that probably fucked him up.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of people I can say because of you I didn't get straight A's. So that's a good fucking thing to say. So let me ask you this, because I know you said you would be one of the biggest selling artists.
Yeah.
That's my question. Where do you think you would rank if it didn't happen? I ain't talking about sales.
That's hard. Well, I mean, it's hard to say in hindsight, but I would go out on a limb and say I would have been in the top 5 without a doubt. If things would have been a little different, and I would have had the time to put out that much material and to evolve with the industry in real time, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'd have been in the top 5
of all time.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, and I only say that because I was taught as a teenager when I started coming into my own as a lyricist, I was told to study the greats so that you'll someday be listed among them. And that was my motto, like study the greats. I always did.
So, and then I'm going to let Slam ask you a question, because I know Slam, in his mind be turned, so I know he got a question here. But I'm going to say this. When I already know you. So I'm going to say this.
Good thing.
When I talk to people, not just because you were coming on, I mean just in general over the years. Here's why I say I agree that you would be one of the top 5, because when I have conversation with people about who's the best rapper to ever come from New Orleans, right? Consistently, you and Wayne. You and Wayne. And
I'm going to tell you, man, man, it was so great to see what Wayne had become. Like, that was gonna happen, right? And I say this humbly, you know what I mean? I say this humbly. Whether it was through me or through Wayne, that representative of this city was gonna come.
Well, the thing about that
was gonna happen.
I agree, but the thing about that is, they still say, you get some people that'll say Mystical. You get some people that'll say this person or that person, whoever. You got some young dudes that say Rob 49, whatever you believe. But
I didn't mean
what I'm saying is this: for them to say you and Wayne, and you missed all that. What you were doing was then.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I think that
tells me that if you would have kept going.
Right. I think it's because they saw. I think when people look back, and once again I say this humbly, I think when people look back, they see the seed of what Lil Wayne eventually become. I think people saw the seed of it in me back then. You know what I mean? So once again, it goes back to what he eventually became. was gonna be, and it was gonna come from down here, and that's why I am one of Wayne's biggest fans, because I understand that it's this old it's this old saying, man, that I think like among great artists, whether it was Michael Jackson or Prince or whomever, they said when there's a cold song, a great song in the wind, if you don't hurry up and record it, that great artist down the street is going to record it. It's going to go to the next best person who is prepared in that moment. So what Lil Wayne became was special because I consider myself part of that spirit. You know what I mean?
So listen, hold up before you go. We gotta take a quick break to put our sponsors in there. Booty gonna slide the sponsors in there and make it look real nice and cute. We gonna come back. We gonna holler at Mac. We gotta get a little more information, bro, because like I said, you are intriguing as a person, but your story in itself is like something that should be put into a biopic in my mind. Something that should be put into like you should really think about making your story into a movie.
Oh, it's in the works.
Okay, see?
Yeah, it's in the works.
I was just really trying to get that out of him to see if it was already in the works. So
yeah, it's in the works.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back because I'm sure Slam has a question he wants to ask you. So,
and these are the breaks.
We'll be
bring
right
it up. Bring it up. Bring it up.
Yes, sir.
We'll go to break with that. All right, well, we back. We giving Bodie his cue. We back. And I don't know what we did to be blessed, but Russell Baker just walked in the building, sitting off on the side. Yeah,
not the whole government.
Hell yeah, that's the man over there.
You know they consider that snitching on
like Keith Carroll.
In the inner air, that's called snitching.
No,
though. You don't say the man's name.
That man is corporate. That man, you gotta say who he is.
No, he ain't say it on paperwork. He just said
that
it.
was paperwork.
That was paperwork.
That was paperwork. In today's age, these gangsters.
I just called a nigga before they say Wood Russell. That's all. I said it all before you niggas say Wood Russell. He's Russell Baker. Shit.
Yeah, you ratted on the man. I don't know what he did.
Side note, you should have said yeah when you asked who needed lotion. Because I'm looking at the knee.
Nigga said you was sliding on the floor.
I'm checking that knee out right there. But anyway, we're going to get back to Mac. So, bro, before we went away, we was talking about what you felt about being, and you said you would be one of the top 5, but you also said you think Wayne, because he, in so many words, what you're saying is he carried the torch.
He carried the torch, yeah.
So I know Slam probably had a question for you.
Yeah,
and he took the torch to Mars, too.
Right.
Yeah. No,
he took it somewhere way.
Yeah.
My statement was, it might come a question come out of it, but my statement was growing up and being uptown when New Orleans was, hey, this is uptown and this is downtown. Mm-hmm. New Orleans wasn't New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? I could tell where you from, I could tell where you from. So when you hearing stuff, when I'm hearing certain rappers and coming up under the Cash Money, the local Cash Money, the big boys, the Take Four, and you hearing Mac, like, damn, this nigga rapping. Like, what the fuck? You can hear, like, it look like you want to go gangster bounce, like, I don't know how to categorize what the fuck he doing. He rapping, so I'm really having to listen to the rhyme pattern, and he's saying some shit, but I'm 14, 13, I'm like, hold up, this nigga, I gotta really pay attention to it. It was different. It was like, man, this nigga rap, so he better. At the time, it was mystical, animated. He's saying shit that the average rapper wasn't saying. Right. Then you coming like, damn, you took it, but you not animated. But this nigga rapping his ass off.
Yeah.
So it was, for me, it was always you were mystical, and then Wayne became Wayne. Right. But for me, it was you and mystical.
Let me just say for the record that Mystical is probably one of the best performers I've ever seen in hip hop ever. Like, just straight up. Hands down, Mike is a hell of a performer. And I think that because Mike was so animated, I think that people overlooked just how lyrical he really was. Right. Mm-hmm. Because if you really listen to what Mike's saying, he's saying some shit. But, you know, people were so attracted to the energy and the animation that I think it kind of just went over their head that he was actually spitting as well.
His voice was an instrument, though. That's for a lot of people, like their voice, you know, a Jadakiss, a Busta Rhymes. These people's voices are instruments. Right. Where they could come out today which is why certain artists have resurgence. They'll come out today and you be like, damn, that shit still hit because nobody can mimic what they do. Nobody, like Twista, the way he does it. He can drop a song today, and if it's hot, they gonna fuck with it because the voice itself. So you take people like Fat Joe, Fabulous, who are good rappers, but their voice is like just, you know.
That's why Jada, Nas, it's why Nas is doing what he doing. Them dudes sound, they just sound like New York.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? If you wanted to know what somebody from New York sound like, they sound like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that because of the familiarity of that voice, being that instrument, that it makes them timeless almost.
Quick question, because like I look at Mystical and DMX as far as performance wise.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm fuck that. If I'm listening like going lyric for lyric, Mystical will punish him. To me.
Yeah.
To me. But they love.
Let me say this. Now let me say this.
He had a bigger platform. X had a bigger platform, and I think that may.
That's what I'm saying. Because lyrics wise, if I put them two on a song, and I'm a fan of both, but listening to shit, if I'm, man, Mystical be saying some shit that me like, God damn, where that punchline came from.
So
what you think? Was it too controversial?
Man, you talking about a dude who opening line of a song was, "I come here with my dick in my hand."
Don't
make me leave it with my foot in your ass. Be cool.
Still what I'm saying?
A couple weeks ago, he came in there with the dick.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
Hey,
listen, let me say this, dog. Let me say this. I gotta say this
Before
first.
the Me Too
Let me say this first.
motherfucker.
Let me say this first. If you look at my Instagram, if you scroll all the way down, if you look at my Facebook or anything, this man took me in like a little brother.
Okay.
Showed me the world the first time. I never saw the world. Mystical showed me, took me all over. He saw one show I did perform, and he said, "Hey, bro, you coming with me?" You know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right. And he called me when I was on a ladder. He said, listen, what you doing? I said, I'm working. He said, get down off the ladder. You coming on tour with me. Right. So I have as much respect for this man. This the same man who, not to put all his business out, but when he was incarcerated one time, he's like, bro, I just want you to go stay at my house for a while. I don't want nobody there. This is how much love I got for him.
Right. And
DMX was a better rapper.
And
I'm trying to tell y'all how much love I have for him.
Expound on that.
DMX was a better rapper.
All right, so I'm glad you said. Here's where I guess my rebut. My rebuttal. Obviously, I'm biased because Mike is the homie, and I've known Mike for a very long time. But what I liked about Mike was that he can make some of the things that he say sound appealing. Think about it. The line we just said, let's think of the average rapper would have just said, man, I come in with my dick in my hand. Don't make me leave it with my foot in your ass. Be cool. It would have been whack. But then he said, I come in with my dick in my hand.
It was antics.
Like he sounded like
he came in with
combination of James Brown and Rudy Ray Moore.
Facts.
It was, so that's what made it.
That was his favorite artist. James Brown was his favorite artist.
And that's what made it so, it was like, wait, did he just say that? You know what I mean? But it made it dope. Now, I think that because his voice was such an instrument, it may have made things a little bit easier in a sense, or made him not have to work as hard lyrically. That's what I was saying.
And that's my point. When let me tell you why DMX is, and I may be biased. Like I say, Mystical is to this day my big brother.
Right.
To this day, I send him money.
Right.
That's my big brother. But I'm an honest dude. And what I'm saying, what makes DMX so much more of a lyricist, and he didn't joke around when he rapped. And if he did it this much. Mystical's because he had that instrument, he could mask it.
Right.
He could say shit like, Psh, come here, Psh, shut up. I know you ain't gonna do it no more. And we like, oh, that was the fire part of the song. But he really didn't say shit. You know what I'm saying?
But he did.
Ow, bad like Mike.
But he did, though.
Which is cool. That makes him a good artist. That makes him a good artist, bro.
Okay.
That does not make him a good rapper. Let me tell you the difference between Lil Wayne now and Lil Wayne then. Lil Wayne then, the reason we like Juvenile and we like BG, but we knew that nigga Wayne gonna be special from them because he was different with them. He was like, I'm you know what I'm saying? He would do all that.
He like based off Missy.
He was exactly. He was very animated. The Lil Wayne now, it's totally different. He is just bar for bar for bar for bar for bar. That's why we look at that rapper better than the rapper who was the block is hot. Even the fucking hooks, the block is hot.
Man, one of my favorite lines ever from Lil Wayne is probably one of the most simplest lines, and that's what made it my favorite. That dude said, "I wish a nigga would like a tree in this bitch." It's simple, but it's like when you. Damn, you know what I mean?
He really, literally,
and he said it effortlessly. Like
he says
something,
everything effortlessly.
Would like a tree in this bitch. You just like,
I turned a penny to a motherfucking Janet Jackson. Think about that, bro.
Yep.
I turned a penny to a dime.
You did.
Yep.
I turned this regular little girl to a beautiful bad bitch.
It goes.
That's what he's talking about. That's what he's talking about.
That's what I said.
It was what they call a double entendre.
It's a double entendre.
A double entendre.
You know what I'm saying? So to me,
they said real G's moving silence like lasagna.
Like lasagna, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So you talking about? So let me just say this.
It took niggas a while to understand that line too.
Let me say this. This is biased because I think Lil Wayne is the best rapper in the world. It's just me, and I think so because, he was able to accomplish something that I'd never seen a rapper accomplish, and that was, and I've said it before, he had a song that was #1 in the world without a hook. That's like a battle rapper's dream come true. And the song is there was no hook to this song. It was just all ball work.
Which he just
and this
recently
was like
said that's
one of
his
the
best
biggest
song,
songs.
too.
It was like one of the biggest songs in the world. And it has no hook.
It's
and
his
I had
biggest
never
selling
seen an
song.
artist do that before.
If you being technical,
A Millie's
the Millie is the hook.
No, that's
It's
just the intro.
No, I'm saying, but it's
And
easy
then it's
for
a rap.
niggas to remember.
No,
Millie. I
But
say that shit all day.
that's just how it comes on.
Right.
If you think about it, and then that's a rap.
Yeah, then he just rap.
You
Yeah,
know
you're
what I mean?
right.
That's
You're
just and he's saying I'm illy is what he's actually saying.
Listen,
You know
now
what I'm saying? I'm
Wayne,
Millie.
he's head and shoulders above those two.
You know that was Q-Tip, right?
But DMX and Mystical, I'm choosing DMX.
A Millie. That was Q-Tip.
Saying that?
Damn.
That was a sample. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I didn't
It
know.
came out years later. Nobody knew that.
Wait,
he didn't know until somebody
Wayne didn't know?
No, Q-Tip,
Q-Tip didn't
until
know.
somebody
Oh.
deep dive into shit and they
I'm
brought
trying to
where
think
it
because I
came
was a
from.
Tribe Called Quest fan.
And
I'm
it
trying
came
to
where
think
it came from.
Where did it come from? It's gonna come to me. Go ahead. It's gonna come to me.
I can't wait to see if it comes to you. But yeah, I'm choosing DMX over Mystical any day. That's just and I love Mystical like a brother. I only met X once, but the one time I met him, he's the reason I rap. So I gotta also give it to him. The nigga pulled me on stage and I was word for word with him with the microphone. So he gonna always be my favorite rapper of all time. Nah, do I think he's in my top 5? See, I'm different, bro. I can separate. And you know what? I want to get y'all top 5 after this. I am one of the few people that can separate. When I say these people are my top 5, that don't mean I think they the best.
Right.
That's
Okay.
my top
All right.
5.
All right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So DMX is my favorite rapper of all time, but he's
Right.
not in my top 5 rappers.
It's just
Okay.
like
'Cause he can't
Rakim
rap.
is my favorite of all time, but you know, my favorite of all time is Rakim. But I think Lil Wayne is the best rapper in the world.
Exactly, and that's when you can. But that's when you can separate it. A lot of people that don't rap, that don't make music, that don't understand this art in its purest form, don't know how to separate it.
Right.
They'll say, because I tell people, they say, "Who your favorite?" DMX. Well, what's your top 5? I tell them my top 5. You just said DMX was your favorite. Why ain't he? He's not one of those.
Right.
Now, X was the first person, and I don't want to just keep harping on this, but X was the first person to come in the game with that type of honesty. Hey, I went to jail for rape. Nobody wasn't saying that shit. X said that shit on a song. I was robbing niggas. I had my dogs robbing niggas. I ain't had no gun. I had my dogs robbing niggas. I looked at X like, damn, niggas can really be honest
Right.
and be cold. You know what I'm saying? He was praying. He was crying. It wasn't no gangster niggas crying on songs.
That nigga was on stage crying.
I cried with him on stage. I don't even know what I was crying for. I'm like, he crying, fuck it, I'm crying.
So in hindsight, you know, dude was on all them fucking drugs. He's crying.
I know now.
He cried. That's
Yeah,
what made him cry.
Rest in peace.
The
X,
drugs
man.
helped the performance.
Nah,
mode.
dude was going through it.
Emotion.
Dude was going through it, bro.
Fucked up.
Dude was going through it. Dude was going through
Your
it.
5. You was giving your 5.
Oh, my top 5. So my top, not who I like, but my top 5 who I think are the best rappers of all time. And it's in no particular order. You put it how you want. Eminem, Lil Wayne, Jadakiss, J. Cole, Jay-Z.
Eminem, Lil Wayne, J. Cole, Jay-Z,
Jadakiss.
All right. What you got?
And so my top 5 would probably, of all times, I definitely got to put Rye in there. Rye have to be because that's the foundation for the other people I'm about to name.
Rakim?
I got to go Rye. Yeah, I got to go, and there's no particular order. Nas got to be in there. Jay got to be in there. Man, Pac got to be in there for me.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had to pick one more person from this generation, man, it'd be J. Cole.
J. Cole's that nigga.
Yeah.
Who's your top?
Listen, I'm going based off what I
Well,
like.
that's my favorite.
He just can't never.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
can't
That's my
answer.
favorite.
Oh, that's
five
not your
artists.
that's not your
just-
top 5.
That's what I'm saying. That's
No,
what
so
I'm
I didn't say my
five
favorite. I say who I
Yeah.
think is the 5 best rappers.
However the 5
The
come.
5
Best.
best,
Or you,
I-
So I'll give you time to say that, and I'll say who my 5 favorite are.
that's what
right?
I'm thinking. Favorite 5 best. I'm blending mine.
All right, because see, it's kind of hard because there's so many people that I like different artists at different stages of my career. I probably had a different 5 in every stage of my career. But if I had to say of all times, I'm going to go ahead on and stick with the ones I just named.
All right.
Okay, my favorite was not that list.
Okay.
So my favorite, and it's not in this order, DMX, Mac, my partner, Show, who people might be like, who the fuck you talking about?
I know
Nigga,
about Show.
To me,
I was like,
one of my favorites. So, Show, Kendrick Lamar, and Jadakiss. That's my favorite. That's my favorite. Now, are they top?
Yeah, ain't got right. I understand that.
So, but to me, that's if I had to make a Mount Rushmore, that would be my Mount Rushmore.
All right.
And then you get like I put Mystical right under that, and you know what I'm saying. But again, them dudes wasn't even J. Cole. J. Cole is directly under that. But I'm looking at Mystical like I loved Mystical for his antics.
All right.
It's like watching a cooking show and the bitch is gorgeous. And the food is just okay.
It's okay, yeah. So
I'm not putting this bitch as one of the best cooks.
So, all
you know
right,
what I'm saying?
so-
but I'm still
So you saying
I'm gonna eat that shit. I'm gonna watch her shit.
His lyrics
So, all
was just
right,
okay.
His lyrics was just Mystical's lyrics was just okay.
But then we would have to define, I guess, by what standard are we judging it? Like, I guess we would say, lyrical content, stage presence.
Okay.
That to me, that's an artist.
Right, lyrical content, stage
That's not
presence.
rapping, that's an artist.
Vocab.
Okay.
I gotta use vocab and
There's niggas like David Banner who could put on a good show. That's why I say like you can't. I don't count stage
I'm
presence.
gonna look at for the point. I get what you're saying. The
so you're going strictly off lyrical content.
I'm going strictly
I
off
think-
rap.
I think
That's why I
he-
say the best rappers.
I think he rap because honestly, Mystical, the first nigga had niggas trying to see what the fuck a guillotine was. Nigga, actually, what the fuck is that? Oh, he chopping his head. We didn't know none about
Now, watch
none of that
this.
shit.
Did you know? Did you hear what he said in that line?
Recite.
He said, "BLB is the guillotine." That's his right hand man.
Gilly.
That's Gilly.
Gilly, yeah.
BLB. That was him, and they've been rocking since high school.
Right.
That's his right hand man. That's what we call him, the guillotine.
And see, niggas think,
Yeah.
a nigga from the street, niggas think, oh, this bitch got a different type of gun.
Yeah.
Chop a nigga head off. It's all about a chopper.
So,
Yeah.
so I want to ask you this because you mentioned something to us earlier off camera, and I want to bring it on camera.
All right.
I know you was talking about when you stop, huh? Oh, he don't. Slam don't want to tell us.
Nah,
His top five.
my top 5, Wayne in there, Busta Rhymes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
What's
So
up,
I can supplement Mystical for Busta Rhymes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my yeah. Nas, you know what I'm saying? Who I like Tretch.
Okay.
Rhyme patterns. And 5, you can join anybody in there.
See when a nigga just say whoever.
Nah, because it's a bunch to choose from.
Okay, so that's your top.
Yeah,
that's who you like.
That's what I like. So it can go from here and there. Pac, Jay-Z, all, you know what I'm saying. But as far as what I know, I fuck with. This is what I'm gonna listen to. I listen to Juve in my ringtone. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember what the fuck when that shit came out.
Well, let's just stop there.
That.
You got a ringtone in 2023.
Nigga,
so
when the phone
by
rings,
itself is fucking.
When the phone rings,
nigga has a ringtone in 2023, and when his phone rings, the song plays.
Different business phone. I know when this person called and that person called. I know when it's an email.
Passing in the car.
No, you know that. Like I was locked up for that whole wave.
The ringtone wave.
Yeah, so all that. I wish I'd have been out, man.
Your song was one of my ringtones back in the day.
No, that was her song.
No. Calling me.
Oh, calling me.
Because there was a time where you could record your own ringtone, whatever you wanted it to be.
Right.
It keeps calling me, and that shit, my shit would ring, and I just thought that was so fire. The pussy was just calling me, and I would put it for certain females. That shit was fire to me. But that,
I need to decipher my
that
phone,
wasn't 2023.
Listen, I need to decipher. Is that my phone ring? If you hear a lot of iPhone niggas ring, I'm a Samsung guy. So if you hear my phone ring, I know that's my shit because that's a song that I was listening to when I was a kid.
Well, if you hear that, you know it's yours anywhere.
Exactly. That's what I need to know. But that's what I need to know. If I'm okay.
I just want him to realize that no one else in the world.
Just for the record, America.
if they phone ring, everybody trying to feel. Oh, that's you. No,
like it's one nigga with a ringtone.
My shit gonna play this fucking song. I know that's my. All right, I got it.
So listen, moving.
These niggas old too. Fuck.
I want to ask you about this point.
I'm old for real.
This point is, you were saying, when you left, we were talking off mic. You were saying that about using the songs as lyrics, and I'm sure in your case they used the songs as lyrics. I mean, you had, just to we being transparent here. Murder, murder, kill, kill, shit's real on the battlefield. If I were the opposing lawyer, I would go straight to that song and use it against you.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, how did you combat that? Because you also had some positive lyrics that I'm sure they never played in court.
Played that in court.
So what did you do? And I want you to tell the people what you did to combat that.
All right, so for starters, Murder, Murder, Kill, Kill was recorded at least 4 years before this incident even happened.
Right.
That's first and foremost. So that, in my opinion, just put it out of the line of. I mean, first of all, the person whom life was lost, and rest in peace to him and his family. I mean, and my condolences has always went to his family, and I always make a point of saying that there was one victim in this whole ordeal, you know what I mean? And that was that young man. Right. Regardless of how people feel about me, about, people, my pursuit for freedom, that still was a person whose life was lost.
Correct.
So I didn't know this individual. We had never met. So the song Murder, Murder, Kill, Kill had no
they gonna go
direct
backwards.
reference
Yeah, they gonna
to
go all the way back.
This incident. And also the song Murder, Murder, Kill, Kill was actually a military cadence. It wasn't even it wasn't what they made it out to be. Ironically, this is I'm probably saying this for the first time on air. Soldier Slim is the person who told me to say shit's real. Because when I was putting it together, I was like, murder, 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 kill, 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 it's real. On the battlefield, Slim was like, nah, Ron, say shit's real.
Right.
So I was like,
well, shit was always real.
I was like, yeah. So that's why. So I put that in there. And I wanted him to rap on it. The next day when we recorded it, I don't know where he was at. I couldn't get in touch with him. So Mike was there, and I asked Mike about it, and Mike heard the verse. And I had already had 2 verses recorded already. And Mike got in there and basically, did his thing. Mike do what he do. But back to the case, that's, first of all, the song had nothing to do with the actual incident.
Right.
So that was one of the main things that me and my lawyer combated or rebutted their argument with. Was like, first of all, this is totally irrelevant to the case. Right? Let's get that straightened. And then next it was like, okay, you took a part of Murder, Murder, Kill, Kill, and you took a line from another song, Shell Shock. where I'm making a reference to my father, actually. In the sign, I say he gave me his game, gave me the name, and if you fuck with me, he'll put a bullet in your brain, man. In court, they split them, put the statements together, and they read to the jury, murder, murder, kill, kill. If you fuck with me, I'll put a bullet in your brain. And that's not what I said.
Wow.
But this is how they splice it together to make a statement for the jury that they wanted to basically pitch the idea that, look, this dude talks about this kind of stuff, and they weren't trying to use it as actual evidence. The prosecutor literally said in court, we're using these lyrics to establish his character,
to make you understand.
That's
who
basically
he is.
that's basically
Anybody that know they should know that's a military chant. You know what I'm saying? That's a military chant.
Because the whole thing was, and I ended up putting the whole chant on the World War III album.
Right.
But if the whole thing was like murder, 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 kill, 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 shit's real, shit's on the battlefield. I've been on the run. I got my shotgun. So it was like it was.
I've been to boot camp before.
Yeah, so
But
that's
what I was about to say, and then I'm gonna let you finish.
So it was
What
a
I was about to say
military
real quick,
cadence, and they used it.
They was
the wrong way.
the reason they did that is because not everybody knows that. You've been to boot camp. People that haven't been to boot camp don't know that.
Yeah.
So that's why they use it. You know what I'm saying? And like he said, they didn't use it to say, oh, this was to do with the case. No, they used it to say, to tell those jurors, hey, listen to the type of person he is. That's why they
this is him. This is who he really is.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
And so so tell us what you did to combat that.
Well, afterwards?
After when you got out.
All right, so when I got out, I told my wife, I said, man, I want to make sure this never happens to anyone else because I thought it was wrong.
Right.
You know, just looking at it from an objective standpoint. So what she did was she assembled a collective of people, and, you know, she basically told them what I wanted to do. And she spearheaded the initiative to get the law passed. And now we're... as of August 1st, 2023 in Louisiana, what is known as the RAP Act or the Restoration of Artist Protection Act is now Louisiana law. They can no longer use song lyrics or the like as a character witness against an artist in court.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I know Boosie pissed. He probably like, damn, man, why you ain't do that years before, man?
I was locked up. Couldn't make the moves back then. Look, they were hindering me.
That's amazing because a lot of people come out and they just be so happy to be free.
Oh yeah.
They don't try to do anything. It's just like, man, I'm happy to be free. Let me get back to the music, or let me get back to this. You know what I'm saying?
Don't get it twisted. I'm so happy to be free.
Oh, I already know.
But on the other note, man, I got so many friends that's still there. I went and visited one of my friends today. So there's still so many people there that need that help, that need that voice. And I mean, this is not just a me thing. This is going to continue to happen.
Right.
Because I mean, this law has tried to. There have been attempts to get a particular law or a similar law in different states, and it was shot down everywhere except Louisiana. We was able to do it down here, and I think we were able to do it because of our approach. You know, we knew this was a red state. We knew it was predominantly conservative, so we got a conservative to present the bill.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we presented it as what it is, and that's a protection of freedom of speech. You know what I mean? At some point, we got to say, we have to just think that, man, this is wrong. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're basically using hip-hop is the only genre of music or art in general that I've ever seen that was actually weaponized against the artist. And I think that is because hip-hop is dominated by black men. And I mean, it's another tool that's being used, and I just think that's wrong. It's unfortunate, and until we get all of the like laws passed or whatever, we're gonna continue to fight it.
Right. And we're gonna go to break on that because that was well said. I don't want to fuck that up by saying something like I always do, very dumb. So we're gonna go to a real quick break, and I'm just dead serious. I don't want to fuck that up because it was perfectly said. And we'll go to break. We'll come right back. We're closing, and we'll talk to Mac for a few minutes, and you go break. All right, so we back, and Man, we here talking to Mac, and he dropping gems on us. He letting us know what it is, keeping it a buck, and just off, while we was off air, Russell. We won't say his last name, but you can rewind it and get his last name.
Yeah,
he said he's mad at us for not saying Scarface
and Andre 3000.
Oh, he's what? He was
disappointed. And I'm gonna be honest with you, and he kind of made me feel guilty too, because them two of my favorites.
Yeah,
bro.
Andre and Scarface.
I had to say, I
shout out to Face and Andre.
Yeah, I'm sticking with my 5.
Sorry,
but I do agree with him. But so bro, man, listen, we appreciate having you here, bro. Opening up, talking to us, letting us know. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to tell the people where they can find you. This is like for me, bro. You have no clue. Just going back to tell you how it is for me. I grew up in Holly Grove, around the corner from Wayne and McMain. So we grew up like this. We would walk the neighborhoods together. Me, him, my sister, my cousins. And we would walk the neighborhoods together. I was a ball player. McMain was a ball player. Wayne was really rapping at that time. Just rapping. And we would listen to the music, like headphones. And you know what I'm saying? Just the little tape players. We would have that shit playing. And your music was always playing. So for me, this like one of them, you know what I'm saying? I remember vividly, and I'm gonna get the fuck off because I don't want to keep talking about my childhood, but the song I played for my daughter's mother, right, who I ended up spending 17 years with, was calling me. Like on our prom night, that's the song I played when she. You know how you get in the car and you put a song on? I put Calling Me on.
You was trying to hit.
I don't give a fuck. I put Calling Me on.
You were trying to hit.
So it was like, yeah, I was.
You were trying to hit.
Well, I had a daughter, so it worked. But what I'm saying is that for me, bro, this is like, like I said, we had a bunch of guests on, but you the first legend on, and
I appreciate that too.
First person who I really could look and say, man, one of my heroes is on.
Oh,
so
man.
This
I appreciate that.
It makes me feel good, bro. So I just want to say thank you for that. Just take the time out to say thank you for that. But tell the people where they can find you at, and tell them what you got coming up next, because I seen your ass look like you was playing the piano, violin. I said, this nigga's Prince now. He just playing all the goddamn instruments. So tell them what you got coming up next. Tell them where they can find you, all that shit.
All right, well, y'all can find me on IG. It's Mac Phipps Official. YouTube, Mac Phipps Official. We got the tours. We're going to finish up the last leg of the Shell Shock reunion, the Shell Shock anniversary tour. We're about to crank that back up again. We wanted to lay off for Yeah, and later this year we have the World War III 25th anniversary as well. But we kind of backed up at the end of the year because it was kind of family time, and we just wanted to spend time with our families. And for me, I got to get like permission ahead of time for stuff, so. I can't, it's kind of hard for me to do spontaneous dates. So, so we trying to work all that out so I can be able to travel more freely. But we will be hitting the road soon. Also, the new project should be released within, I would say, no later than March. Late February is entitled Son of the City 2.
Okay.
All I'm going to tell you is it's fire. We're going to have some guests on there. We're going to have this is that one. This is one of them ones.
I'm looking forward to it.
We're going to hold you to it.
Yeah, this is one of them ones. This is the one that I want to basically, wait, I don't want to say too much about it. This one of them ones.
I wish you would have. I wish you would have. I ain't going to lie. I wish you would have.
This one of them ones.
You was amped. I wish you would have said it.
You sure you don't want to say it?
Yeah, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it because I be talking too much.
So again, bro, we appreciate having you. Thank you for telling them where they can find you at. Thank you for telling them what you got going on. The last thing we want is we normally give people, every one of us just give a thought of the day. Whatever you want to say to whomever you want to say it, however you want to say it, and whatever you feel like, just go ahead and get that out, brother. Whatever you want to say to whomever.
So this is to whomever. This is something I guess the thought of the day would be something I posted on IG recently. I would tell everyone, humble yourself and you will be exalted. Exalt yourself and you will be humble.
Damn. Bars. He always rap it.
It's deep. How would Mystical have said that?
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Humble yourself.
Yeah.
You wouldn't
even heard the other words. You just heard humble.
Shout out to Mike too. That's the home. Shout out to Mike.
Yeah,
Shout out to Mike.
Bro. I miss you, bro. For real.
Nah,
we all do.
All I could do, I appreciate you for coming, dog. It was like a trip down memory lane when I see him and he introduced her. It was like Bean. I paused for a minute, like damn,
it hit you.
Flashing in my eyes.
And, look,
like,
and let me say that too. Let me just say for the record, homegirl. For those who don't know, in the studio we have the lovely Mercedes.
I mentioned her, but she really just sitting back there chilling.
Whom album that the actual song "You Ain't Gotta Say Too Much" it was on her album.
Classic.
We did that for her,
Classic.
and yeah. So y'all gotta look coming soon. Mercedes got some things happening.
Okay.
Y'all follow her on IG. Is Miss Lady Mercedes, right? On IG. So y'all follow her on IG at Miss Lady Mercedes. And yeah, we got some big things coming up.
We're gonna have to get her on here too. We're gonna have to get her on here
following
too. Cause she was sitting over there like, I don't know if I wanna all right, we're not gonna bother you. What you wanna say to the people before we go?
From the people,
yeah, and yeah, it's one of the most requested sample songs.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
And yeah, so
that is?
yeah, it is. It's one of the most requested sample songs.
See, people need to know that because people think, man, you ain't never do nothing, you ain't put nothing out there. See what I'm saying? They need to hear that.
Shout out to Jabbo too. Shout out to Jabbo because Jabbo is who actually singing on the hook with Mercedes is my homeboy Jabbo. So shout out to him.
I seen him live one time in Franklinton, Louisiana.
Louisiana.
And listen, I was like, who do this? Because he just got up there and he started singing Michael Jackson. I'm like, who do this? But then he started singing the songs with you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know exactly who this nigga is.
Yeah, that's my dude. So shout out to him.
He
didn't have
doing
Jabos
something?
on either.
Huh?
He still doing something?
I don't know.
See, that shit crazy. Like, I know his voice, his hook, but I'm like, I don't know him, but nigga, I know that hook.
Yeah.
You famous to me and I don't even know you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's what I want to say. So y'all be looking. We got some big things coming.
What you want to tell the people?
And I also just wanted to say I'm living like that. Now what?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I had to look in the camera and just say that.
Like
wow. That was random. Well, you got anything you want to tell the people before we go?
Nah, get your girl some bundles, man.
That's your camera.
Oh, get your girl some bundles, man.
Yeah, get them bundles.
Hey, bro.
So I just want to say this to people.
And get you something to work with. Meet me on the yard. Oh, I flashed out. I hadn't tripped all the way out.
Flashbacks.
I've been out long enough to that's out my system.
So I'm gonna just say this, man. I usually go a little longer, but I'm gonna just say this and make it short and simple. If you worry, don't pray, and if you pray, don't worry.
Yes,
Can't do both. So we thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. Episode 8, success. I had one of my heroes, legends here, Mac. Give it up for him again. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. And we will be back next time. You dig? We out this bitch.